Welcome, everybody. My name is Jim Toland, and I'm a senior program manager with the Azure Data team at Microsoft. I want to welcome you back to our monthly webinar for Azure Database for MySQL. We're streaming today on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and for those of you who might have missed any of our previous episodes, you can check out the session recordings on our YouTube channel. You'll see it's at YouTube at Azure Database MySQL. Thank you. So our agenda today includes 3 deep dive topics, followed by a look at our upcoming feature roadmap. The first, we're going to go into performing a planned major version upgrade from MySQL 5.7 to MySQL 8.0 on the Burstable SKU servers that Elendil will present. Next, we'll have find out about general availability of Azure Key Vault managed HSM support for custom managed keys in Azure Database for MySQL. And we'll listen to Tameika. Lawrence will share that with us. Next, we'll have Shreya Aithal, product manager at Microsoft, go through some click-through demos for Azure Database for MySQL's top 3 use cases. And then last but not least, I will go through the latest feature releases and upcoming roadmap. So if you have any questions or feedback during the webinar, please just go ahead and drop a note in the chat window. You can also drop a hi just to let us know that you're here and about if there are any topics you'd like to have covered in future episodes. Please go ahead and leave us a note to that effect. As usual, we have our product expert, Sadish Narayanswamy, online to monitor the chat window, and he'll help answer any questions about the product that we've been able to address during the session itself. So we'll get started with our first deep dive. I'd like to invite Elendil Zheng, a senior product manager at Microsoft, to share with us details about the new feature functionality that allows you to perform a planned major version upgrade from MySQL 5.7 to MySQL 8.0 for Azure Database MySQL flexible servers that are based on the Burstable service tier. Pardon me. Hi, Elendil. Welcome to the webinar, and thank you for joining us today. Can you share a little bit about yourself before we jump into your presentation?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Jim. So hello, everyone, and welcome to this demo of the new major version upgrade feature for Azure Database for MySQL Burstable SKU compute tiers. My name is Elendil. I'm the Senior Program Manager in Microsoft, focusing on the major version upgrade and some other key features. So today, I'm going to show you how you can easily upgrade your MySQL version directly from the Azure portal, including how to validate your schema before upgrading. I also demonstrate what happens if the upgrade encounters common compatibility issues and how to recover from it.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to thank you for your introduction. I'll go ahead and turn it over to you now. Go ahead, please. Thanks.
Okay. Maybe we can turn to the next slides. Okay. So previously, upgrading a Burstable SKU required manual steps, such as upgrading the compute tier before performing the major version upgrade, and then perform the major version upgrade, then downgrade to the Burstable SKU based on your choices. Now, this process is automated, making it both simpler and more reliable. Okay, so let's start our demo. Okay, let's start by logging into the Azure portal. Here, we have a Burstable SKU instance running MySQL 5.7 on a B1 MS SKU. This server is optimized for cost saving using a resource model based on CPU credits, which makes it highly efficient for workloads with intermittent spikes in usage. Before starting the upgrade, it's important to validate that your schema is compatible with MySQL 8. While the Azure portal doesn't have a built-in validation tool for Burstable SKUs due to their resource model, you can perform this validation locally using Oracle's official MySQL share. So let me quickly demonstrate how to run this validation tool on your local machine. So first, open your terminal tool, then type in MySQL sh to open the MySQL shell tool. Then type in the check for server updates command. Here, I'll run a compatibility check using the MySQL shell against our database. The tool will scan the schema and report any issues that could prevent a successful upgrade. Okay, as you can see here, there are some warnings related to objects prefixed with MySQL dot, as well as with some errors. These warnings and errors can be safely ignored because they refer to built-in stored procedures used to support Azure MySQL features. These warnings do not affect the upgrade process. Now that our validation is complete and we've confirmed that there are no critical issues, we can proceed with the upgrade. Back in the Azure portal, simply click the Upgrade button. The portal will notify us that the Burstable School will be temporarily upgraded to a general-purpose school to ensure there are enough resources for the process. Let's confirm this and continue. Here you can select which school you want to upgrade to during the major version upgrade on Burstable School. You can also choose to stay in the new compute tier or back to the Burstable schools after the upgrade successfully completed. The system handles the upgrade seamlessly, transitioning it in the server to MySQL 8. This process includes upgrading the compute tier and then perform the MySQL version upgrade, then downgrade or keep your compute tier in the new version or go back to the old computer school. After the upgrade, the system will either retain the general purpose school or revert back to Burstable School based on your initial choice, defaulting to new school or roll back to B2S school. Let's click the refresh button and you will see the server is now upgraded to 8 in general purpose school. Now, let's look at a scenario where the upgrade might fail due to a common configuration issues. In this case, I've deliberately set the SQL model parameters to include no auto create user, which is not supported in MySQL 8. Let's save this configuration. Just like before, we initiate the upgrade by clicking the upgrade button on portal and confirming the compute tier upgrade to general purpose. We will skip the local official Oracle tools to validate to perform the field pass of this major version upgrade. Because of the incompatible SQL mode, the upgrade will fail. As you can see, the upgrade has failed. The error message indicates that the no auto create user value in SQL mode is not supported in MySQL 8. This is a classic example of a compatibility issues during upgrade. After failure, the compute tier remains on general purpose school instead of reverting back to Burstable. This decision makes it easier for you to fix the issue and retry the upgrade without needing to upgrade the compute tier again. So let's go back to the server parameters page and change the SQL mode parameter. With this corrected, we can retry the upgrade directly. Now that the issue is resolved, let's retry the upgrade. Since the compute tier is already set to general purpose, the system skips this step and directly performs the MySQL version upgrade. This time, the upgrade will complete successfully. One thing to note is that since you retried the upgrade directly on the general purpose, so it will not roll back your server to Burstable schools. We suggest you to keep your server in just the general purpose school, but if you would like, you can still roll back to Burstable schools by clicking compute and storage blade, then roll back, change the compute here. That's all for the demo.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much, Elendil. Folks, you can learn more in Elendil's post at aka.ms MySQL MVU Burstable. Thanks again, Elendil, for sharing the detail with us and for joining us so late in your day. Really appreciate it. All right. So with that, we're going to move on to our next topic, which is Azure Key Vault Managed HSM support for CMKs in Azure Database for MySQL. We have Tameika Lawrence presenting this for us today. Well, let's see here. Azure Key Vault Managed HSM or Hardware Security Module is a fully managed, highly available, single-tenant, standards-compliant cloud service that enables you to safeguard cryptographic keys for your cloud applications using FIPS 140-2 Level 3 validated HSMs. It ensures that your data is stored and processed only within the region that hosts the HSM. I'm going to invite Tameika on, and she's a program manager at Microsoft, and she's going to talk about this new feature. I will say that we've had some technical difficulties with her camera, so we'll have her definitely for audio. Tameika, can you hear us okay?
Hi, Jim. Yes, I can.
Okay, fantastic. Do you want to just give us a two-line introduction about yourself before we get into your demo?
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is Tameika Lawrence, as Jim said. I'm a product manager here at Microsoft working in the MySQL security features space. And today I'm going to be talking to you about the Azure Key Vault Managed HSM support for CMK in the Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server, which is currently in general availability.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to you now, Tameika.
Thank you. So today, introducing AKV Managed HSM for customer managed keys in MySQL Flexible Server, which is currently in GA, I'm going to be going through a couple of the aspects of this security feature. So for starters, Azure Key Vault Managed HSM or Hardware Security Module is a key management solution for protecting data at rest with additional safeguards and technical measures to meet compliance requirements. And so today you're going to hear a little bit about the features of Managed HSM along with the benefits, a few of the requirements for configuration before we go into our demo. So a couple of the features that make Azure Key Vault Managed HSM a great solution for using customer managed keys in MySQL Flexible Server is that it is fully managed, meaning Azure handles the provisioning, configuration, patching, and maintenance. And so none of those operations are really on the customer in order to do, they are system managed. It is also highly available. Each HSM cluster consists of multiple HSM partitions. And so if one is unavailable or unhealthy, then it will be moved to a healthy node. It's single tenant, meaning each managed HSM instance is dedicated to a single customer, and you have data isolation for that. And then it is additionally FIPS 140-2 level 3 validated. It meets the FIPS, or Federal Information Protection Standard, compliance requirements. So taking a look at some of the benefits, another thing that I would call out again is that each managed HSM instance is dedicated to a single customer, which is extremely important for that data isolation factor that I mentioned previously. And that data is stored and processed only within the region that hosts the HSM, ensuring data residency. The cryptographic operations such as encryption, decryption, validation are performed inside the HSM itself, never outside. And then the managed HSM allows you to bring your own HSM-backed encryption keys with the customer managed keys, or bring your own key solution in Azure. So taking a look at a few of the requirements for configuring managed HSM in Flexible Server is that you must deploy the HSM in the same region as the MySQL Flexible Server. You also must assign the user managed identity the managed HSM crypto service encryption user role in Azure RBAC, or role-based access control. And you also must enable soft delete and purge protection. So with that, we'll go into today's demo. So for today's demo, I'm going to be showing you how to deploy a new managed HSM, as well as configure that HSM with an existing MySQL Flexible Server. So let's get started. So here I'm just navigating through the Azure Marketplace to go to the Azure Key Vault Managed HSM, selecting Create to spin up a new instance. So some important callouts on the Create experience is that, again, I'm going to select the region where my existing MySQL Flexible Server currently resides, which is Central US. So in configuring this managed HSM, I'll be selecting Central US for the region where the Flexible Server is. Additionally, I will also be configuring the soft delete and purge protection features. Now, the soft delete just ensures that in the case that the managed HSM is deleted, it will be retained for up to the number of days I specify, which is 7 days in this instance. And so it will not be permanently deleted before those 7 days. The soft delete is auto-enabled in the Create experience, but I'll also need to make sure that purge protection is toggled on. Moving on to our next tab, I'll need to add a principal for the administrator. And so the AKV Managed HSM Administrator just allows me to perform high-level administrative functions like role assignments. So I'm going to select myself as the Managed HSM admin. And now we'll just hit review and create to start off our deployment. First, for the networking settings, I'm going to keep the access as all networks, and then we'll pop over to review and create. So on average, my HSM takes about 10 minutes to deploy. For this demo, we're going to, of course, skip ahead. So now that my HSM is deployed, I'm going to navigate to the resource. So you'll see here that the activation status is currently set to not activated. And if I navigate to the keys, I will also see that under the keys section, I'm not able to generate or import keys. I'm also not able to apply any role assignments. And I see the message accessing data plane operations on the Azure portal requires public network access. Please update your networking settings in the portal to proceed. And this is essentially because my HSM is not yet activated, and so it does not have network connectivity. So I'm just going to navigate back to the overview and select Activate Managed HSM. So here I'm required to upload 3 certificates as well as specify a quorum value, which is just going to set the minimum number of certificates required to decrypt my security domain. So I've uploaded my 3 certificates and I've set my quorum at 2. Now I'm going to hit to activate my managed HSM. And by clicking download and downloading the security domain file, this will essentially complete the setup and activation of the managed HSM. So I can see here that my security domain file download was successful. My activation status is set to not activated, but if I go ahead and just refresh the view, I will see that the status is now set to active. So if I navigate to keys, I see that I still have a message that I'm not authorized to access the keys. So I'll still need to apply some permissions in order to be able to create keys. Navigating to local RBAC, though, I can see that I now am appearing as the managed HSM administrator. And so I'll just need to go ahead and apply the role assignments necessary for managing and configuring the settings of the managed HSM. So if I hit add, I'm going to search for the managed HSM crypto service encryption user role. I'm going to set the scope for all keys, and then I'm going to assign a security principal. So the security principal that I'm going to assign is going to be the user managed instance that the user managed identity that I created, which is demo UMI 001. I'm going to select and create the role. So there's additionally another role that I'm going to apply, which is the managed HSM crypto user. And so that role is just going to allow me to perform the key operations that are going to be necessary for using the customer managed keys. So with my first role added, I'll just pop over, I'll add that crypto user role, set the scope for all keys once again, and then also set my user managed identity as the security principal. So now I have the required crypto service encryption user role that's required for the managed HSM, and I additionally have the HSM crypto user role that's going to allow me to perform key operations. So I additionally added myself, my user principal as a crypto service encryption user, so I can also take action on the keys. So here you can see that I'm now unblocked and I have the ability to generate or import keys. However, for this demo, I'm not going to go through the key creation process. Instead, I'm going to use another existing managed HSM that I have that already has keys created. And I'll use that managed HSM to configure with my Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server for the remainder of this demo. So navigating to my flexible server, if I go over here on the left to the menu and select security, I'm going to navigate to the data encryption blade. So here I can see that I have the ability to assign the user managed identity as well as select a key. Selecting the key is going to involve also selecting my key store solution, which can be a regular Azure Key Vault or a managed HSM. So I'm going to assign my demo UMI as the user managed identity and selecting key. Here I have the pop out for the key store type. So I'm going to go ahead and select manage HSM. So it pops up the fields for me to select which HSM I would like to use, as well as a key, and there's going to be the key version. And so key version auto populates. All my fields are set. I'll hit select. And now the last step is just hitting save. So here I can see that my data encryption settings have been successfully saved, and my Azure Key Vault managed HSM is now configured with my Azure MySQL Flexible Server. And it will essentially be able to use customer managed keys, specifically HSM-backed customer managed keys for data encryption at rest that are going to be stored in my managed HSM. And that concludes today's demo. Thank you.
Hey, fantastic. Thank you so much, Tameika. Folks, for more information, be sure to check out Tameika's recent blog post at ka.ms MySQL-CMK-HSM. Thanks again, Tameika. Really appreciate your time on the call today.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks. All right. Let's go on to our next topic. And for this, I'm going to invite Shreya Aithal, a product manager at Microsoft, to walk us through some new click-through demos that we've put together to help you test out our service and app integrations. Shreya, come along if you could. Hi, welcome, and thank you for joining us today. You're an old hand. You've been here before, but could you please introduce yourself just for anybody who might not already know about you before we get started?
Definitely, Jim. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I am Shreya Aithal. I'm a product manager in the Azure Database for MySQL team, and I'm going to show you some interesting demos that we have available for you all to access publicly.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Let me share the slides, and I will turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Jim. So, folks, as most of you already know, if you're a MySQL user, MySQL has a strong attach with the LAMP stack of applications, right? And the trends that we see among our Azure MySQL customers is also similar. And among this bunch of LAMP stack applications that are used with Azure MySQL, WordPress, Moodle, and Magento are the three top use cases that we have seen with customers so far. WordPress, a content management system. On the with actually, I think on the internet, almost 43% of the websites that are there are powered by WordPress. And we've got Moodle, which is a learning management system, especially post the a pandemic scenario. The Moodle framework has gained a lot of usage. It essentially provides a perfect platform for academicians to hold classes, reports, online classes, notes, etc., note sharing, etc. And it's an excellent platform for that. And then finally, Magento, which is an e-commerce platform. It's a platform that helps you build e-commerce websites and is very popular as well. Now, for each of these three top use cases, we actually have very simplified integrations that are out there, which help you deploy the application as well as the database together in a secure environment with just a couple of clicks. For example, for WordPress, we actually have a marketplace offering called WordPress on App Service, which deploys an application hosted on App Service, WordPress application on App Service, connects with MySQL, all within a VNet. And it also integrates with a Redis cache, with Azure CDN, front door, blob storage, etc. And of course, because it is deployed on App Service and Azure Database for MySQL, both of which are PaaS services, you've got a lot of the management overhead removed from you, and you can do monitoring, you can do security, networking, etc. Very easily with all the capabilities that Azure has to offer. For Moodle and MySQL, we actually have one-click deployment ARM templates, multiple templates that we have actually put out there, which are scenario-specific for small workloads, large workloads, or business-critical workloads. And again, all of this within a VNet. In fact, we actually host Moodle on VM scale sets and have good integration with Redis as well as Azure Search to make Moodle Moodle on Azure a very strong app framework. Now, the final one is Magento. Again, we have, similar to the Moodle template, we have templates for Magento as well, where the deployment happens on Azure Kubernetes services, has Azure CDN and Azure Database for MySQL integration as well. This is basically using the microservices architecture's benefits, so all the more powerful e-commerce web application. Now, with these three integrations already present on Azure, what we are offering now is click-through demos for each of these use cases. And when I say click-through demos, these are demos which are completely free for you to use and hosted publicly. You can either use it for training yourselves on the integrations, just to understand the flow of how things work, how we are supposed to deploy, what are the caveats, what is the extent of the things that we can do with this integration. Or if you have end customers who want to use any of these platforms, you can actually use these use case demos for training them. Right. So it's as simple as navigating to aka.ms/MySQL use case demos, and you will land at this page. Now, as you can see here, again, this is a recorded demo, but as you can see here, we've got 3 of these demos right here, and it's as simple as clicking a run demo on top of against any of the ones that you want to test. Today, I'm going to show you WordPress and Moodle, not the full demo because I really want you to try it out yourself. But let's go ahead and click on WordPress, right, for now. Now in WordPress, or even for Moodle or Magento, we've actually got a small storyline running. So you can go ahead and enjoy the entire demo with a use case that makes most sense to you. Right from how to search for that service on Azure Marketplace, this is the WordPress on App Service service that we have. You can go ahead and just click on next for all of these. Have a look at the hosting plans that are available, which actually show you all the database, storage, Redis, etc. Configurations that are available that you can choose from. And all you really need to do is either click next or just click on the required buttons, right? And you can go ahead and walk through the entire deployment process. And this a demo not just shows you the deployment process, but also talks about other steps like the architecture. It shows you what you can do after you create a WordPress in case there is more traffic coming in. How can you monitor the traffic? How can you make sure to scale, etc. Right? For example, here we're going to take a look at the architecture as well, where we're using a front door with CDN. We've got the app service, we've got MySQL. How are they all really talking to each other? And all of this is built in that we're providing for you. But this essentially will help you understand what's going on underneath and help you tweak things as you need. And of course, we also have in this demo shown how the experience looks right out of the box. For example, if you go to the configuration section here, you'll be able to find all of the application settings like the admin username, password, which we'll use to go into the to log in into the admin site. But if you take a look at this, this is what the experience looks like right out of the box. And you can just go to WP admin and go ahead and edit the pages with a click of a few buttons, change the performance settings, etc. as you wish. I'm going to stop showing the demo here just because I really do want you to try this out yourself. Just one more thing that I will show is the database server itself. This is how the server looks like. You can find all the details of the database, as well as you also have the PHP MyAdmin plugin already installed for you, so that you can actually talk to the database without having to take all the burden of installing a client, especially because of the database and application being in one single VNet. It is rather difficult for you to access the database, but we actually have the PHP MyAdmin ready right there for you all to try and make database connections. Now, like I said, the rest of the demo, I'm not going to go deep into the WordPress demo. There's another couple of steps remaining where you can actually monitor the service. You can scale up, scale down, do a lot of other tasks, which the demo actually has. Meanwhile, I'll also show you the Moodle experience, and the Magento experience is quite similar to this. All you have to do is go ahead and click on Start Demo. Again, there is a story of how Fabricam, the customer, now wants to build a learning management system for training their team members. But as you see, this is the GitHub site where we have the Moodle template, and we'll show you how there are multiple deployment scenarios, multiple ARM templates for the different use case scenarios that you can just click deploy to Azure on, and it will go ahead and create custom deployment for you. You can, of course, edit few parameters as required, or simply go ahead and click on create. It's as simple as that, literally just one single click to land at this page, and then you can just hit create, and you will have Moodle on VM scale sets talking to Azure Database for MySQL, right? Similar to what we saw with the WordPress experience, we also have the architecture diagram explaining what's going on beneath the covers. We've got the VM scale sets, we've got blob storage, Redis, as well as Azure Search in the background. So all of this you can walk through, and you can make sure to this is a simple use case demo that will help you understand all there is to know about this integration, as well as that of WordPress, Moodle, and Magento. And here you can just go to the load balancer and go ahead and look at how the out-of-the-box experience of the Moodle looks like, and you can go ahead and make your edits, right? So that's about it from my side. So a similar demo exists for Magento as well. But again, I would want you all to try it out. Go to aka.ms MySQL use case demos and do try out all our demos and let us know your feedback. That's all I had for today. Over to you, Jim.
Hey, thank you so much, Shreya. I really appreciate it. Folks, if you want to try out these click-through demos yourself, you can go navigate to aka.ms MySQL-use-case-demos and do give those a go. Thank you for your time again, Shreya. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jim.
All right. So next, we're going to move on to our last section of the presentation today, which deals with the latest feature roadmap, latest features and roadmap, upcoming roadmap. So let's start out by mentioning that we had 3 major updates in the past month. As Elendil covered earlier in today's session, you can now perform major version upgrades directly on Burstable service tier servers by using the Azure portal. This feature release removes a previous limitation we had, which was the need to manually upgrade from general purpose or business critical tiers to perform the version upgrade and downgrade the servers. This ensures a seamless upgrade process, enhanced reliability, and effective cost management. And you can learn more at aka.ms mysql-mvu-burstable. Secondly, we had, as Tameika mentioned today, we just announced general availability of the Azure Key Vault Managed HSM support for customer managed keys in Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server. This feature allows you to use your own HSM-backed encryption keys to protect your data at rest in MySQL Flexible Server instances. You can generate HSM-backed keys and import the encryption keys from a physical on-premises HSM using CMK's Bring Your Own Key feature while maintaining full control over the keys. Learn more at aka-mysql-cmk-HSM. And finally, we're excited to inform you that Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server now supports up to 8 terabytes in a single table file. Earlier, the service supported up to 4 terabytes in a single table file. This increase in storage capacity reduces the need for table partitioning and simplifies database management. Additionally, the increased storage limit allows customers to scale their tables more efficiently without compromising performance. As far as the latest feature roadmap for Azure Database MySQL Flexible Server, we've got on-demand backup and export, which is currently in public preview. This functionality provides an ability to export a physical backup of the server at a time of your choosing, and you can back it up to an Azure storage account, Azure Blob Storage, using the Azure CLI. After you've exported these, you can use the backups for data recovery, for migration, for data redundancy and availability, or even for auditing and other purposes. This feature is planned to be generally available in Q3 of calendar year 24. Next is a set of 3 maintenance-related features. First, we have the flexible maintenance option, which allows you to reschedule maintenance windows and even instantly initiate maintenance with a reschedule now option. This should be GA this quarter. Next, we have Virtual Canary. And with this feature releasing in preview this quarter, you can opt out your devs, testing, and staging servers to be a Virtual Canary servers. Servers in this category will receive monthly updates in advance, and which gives you the opportunity to kind of perform some additional layer of testing of the updates on top of your own internal tests to avoid issues specific to your workload, like application level compatibility issues. It's essentially an efficient way to manage updates, align testing and production environments, and maintain operational stability with minimal disruption. We also have near zero downtime maintenance for HA-enabled servers. This feature designed to reduce maintenance downtime for HA-enabled servers by ensuring in most cases the maintenance downtime is between 40 and 60 seconds. This is pivotal for critical businesses that cannot compromise on high availability and require minimal interruption in their database operations. This feature should be GA early next quarter. Next, we have MySQL Discovery and Assessment, Azure Migrate. With this functionality, you can use Azure Migrate service to discover MySQL servers in your environment, assess them by identifying their compatibility for moving to Azure Database for MySQL, and receive compute and storage recommendations, storage SKU recommendations along with their costs. This is currently in private preview with plans for it to go into public preview early next quarter. We also have 3 features that have GA milestones in the upcoming Q4 of this calendar year. First, error logs and server logs, which is now in public preview. This feature provides you the option to view and download error logs under the server logs option for up to 7 days so that you can analyze and troubleshoot issues. We also have long-term retention of backups, which is now in public preview. Previously, Azure Database for MySQL allowed for automated backups and on-demand backups to be retained to up to 35 days. With long-term retention, you can now retain backups up to 10 years, which further aids your audits and compliance needs. In addition, accelerated logs. This feature has gone into GA during the build timeframe, and it gives you 2 times the performance for your business critical servers at no additional cost. At this time, however, the feature currently can't be enabled on servers that have customer managed keys enabled, but later this year in Q4, we will be removing that limitation so that that's no longer an issue. If you want to try out any of our features in private preview, please just send us a note to ask Azure DB for MySQL at servicemicrosoft.com. And we also publish a monthly update blog containing all of these updates. The blog post will go out a couple of days after the webinar, and the latest update will be available at aks/mysql-monthly-update. Folks, that's all for today. As we close out, I will leave you with 4 things. First, check out our contributor initiative and start contributing today. You can get badges and official recognition for your work and more. We'd love to have you join that and work with us to develop collateral or just to simply help us grow our social presence. Second, to learn more about our service, you can use these resources or feel free to reach out to us at our email address. Third, stay tuned for more updates and announcements by following us on social media and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Our handle is on YouTube and Twitter is at Azure DB MySQL. That's also a good way to get your gold contributor badge just by following us on social and helping us share our social amplifications. And finally, if you want to be featured in our upcoming webinars or collaborate with us on any collateral, you can fill out this form to let us know. You can also use the form to provide us any feedback on this session, or if you have questions or suggestions for future topics that we should be covering in upcoming sessions. So that's it for today. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we plan to see you all in our next session on the 11th of September at 7:30 a.m. Pacific. Thanks again so much, and we really appreciate you being here. Have a great day.